The Gift of Fear by Gavin Becker. The energy of violence moves through our culture. Violence is part of America. We've found the only prey left, ourselves. It's called intraspecies violence. Our criminal justice system often lacks justice. The denying person knows the truth on some level, and it causes a constant low-grade anxiety. Pre-incident indicators are those detectable factors that occur before the outcome being predicted. Your safety is yours. It is not the responsibility of the police, the government, industry, the apartment building manager, or the security company. Americans worship logic, even when it's wrong, and deny intuition, even when it's right. Intuition connects us to the natural world. To successfully navigate through morning traffic, we make amazingly accurate, high-stakes predictions about the behaviors of literally thousands of people. We expect all the drivers to act just as we would. Every thought is preceded by a perception. Every impulse is preceded by a thought. Every action is preceded by an impulse. Everything a person does is created twice, once in the mind and once in its execution. Ideas and impulses are pre-incident indicators for action. Nature's greatest accomplishment, the human brain, is never more efficient or invested than when its host is at risk. Then intuition is catapulted to another level. Intuition is knowing without knowing why. Intuition heeded is far more valuable than simple knowledge. Intuition is always learning. Everything it communicates to you is meaningful. Unlike worry, it will not waste your time. Predicting the routine behavior of adults in the same culture is so simple, but we rarely even bother to do it consciously. We only react to the unusual. When we accept that violence is committed by people who look and act like people, we silence the voice of denial. The woman who jogs along enjoying music through Walkman headphones has disabled the survival instinct that warns her about dangerous approaches, her hearing. Some people are not familiar with violent behavior that they feel they cannot predict it. Yet, they daily predict nonviolent behavior, and the process is identical. Knowing the question is the first step toward knowing the answer. To consciously predict something, one must know what outcome is being predicted. Knowing the language of prediction is more than understanding what a person says. Some of the signs include the language of rejection, entitlement, grandiosity, attention-seeking, revenge, attachment, and the language of identity-seeking. Anger is a very seductive emotion because it is energizing and exhilarating. Sometimes people feel their anger is justified by past unfairnesses. The process of suicide starts way before the act of suicide. The same is true for homicide. It is a process, a chain of which the violent outcome is only one link. A threat is a statement of intention to do harm. It offers no conditions, no alternatives, no ways out. Intimidations are statements of condition to be met in order to avert a harm. Unless you apologize, I'll kill you. Or, if you fire me, you'll be sorry. Threats carry more likelihood of violence than intimidations. Extortion is a crime of opportunity, usually committed by amateurs. Public figures are probably the most frequent targets for extortion. A problem employee is easier to terminate before he makes an emotional investment in the job. When you have first cause to terminate this person, it should be done. If you try to fire an employee and fail, you are setting the stage for the time syndrome: threats, intimidations, manipulations, and escalation. Many women have been battered so much their fear mechanism is dulled. The relationship between violence and death is no longer apparent to them. Many batterers control the money, bank accounts, or even financial information. Some control the schedule, car keys, major purchases, choice in clothes, choice in friends. Batterers controlling may work for a while, but when it begins not to work, he escalates. The majority of husbands who kill their wives stalk them first. Killing his wife is a decision, not a loss of control. Many homicides have occurred at the courthouse where the women were seeking protection orders. The murderers are allergic to rejection. Restraining orders are most effective on the reasonable person who has a limited emotional investment. They work best on the person least likely to be violent. Think of restraining orders as an option, not the only option. Stalking is a crime of power, control, and intimidation very similar to date rape. In fact, many cases of stalking could be described as extended rapes. Unwanted pursuers may escalate their behavior to include such things as persistent phone calls and messages, showing up uninvited at a woman's work, and so forth. Can specific media products compel people to violence? The content of media products matters, but the amount may matter more. Risk factors for future criminality: poverty, child abuse, violence, humiliation, drug-addicted parent or parents, drug abuse by the child, and a single-parent childhood. We need to take an entirely different view of children, not as temporary visitors, but as future citizens. Performers, politicians, and sports figures have long been admired and loved, but that love used to be contained and distant. Now that distance has shrunk. The greatest intimacy most assassins attain is with those they attack. Those who attack with knives have even more intimacy. Assassins do not fear going to jail. The only thing they fear is failure in their attack. Assassins want recognition and to be seen as significant. Violence is the fastest way to get identity. They know that with a single act of fraudulent heroism, they will forever be linked to their famous target. The best thing to do is not to give the killer recognition. Getting caught for some awful violence should be the start of oblivion, not the biggest day of one's life. Our culture presents many role models, but few get as much hoopla and glory as the assassin. Assassins give great video. Assassins will not sue you, no matter what you say about them. Precautions are constructive, whereas living in a state of fear is destructive. It can also lead to panic, and panic is more dangerous than the outcome we dread. The fact that you fear something is solid evidence that it is not happening. It is that which might come next that we fear, what might happen, not what is happening now. What you fear is rarely what you think you fear. It is what you link to fear. When we get a fear signal, our intuition has already made many connections. Fear says something might happen. If it does happen, we stop fearing it and start to respond to it, manage it, surrender to it, or we start to fear the next outcome we predict might be coming. To worry oneself is a form of self-harassment. Worry is the fear we manufacture. It is not authentic. Worry is a way to avoid change. When we worry, we don't do anything about the matter. Worry is a way to avoid admitting powerlessness over something, since worry feels like we're doing something. Worry is a cloying way to have connection with others. The idea being that to worry about someone shows love. Worry is a poor substitute for love. Worry is a protection against future disappointment. Feeling the experience of failure, rehearsing it by worrying about it, then failure won't be so bad. What people worry about has a low probability of occurring. Worry hurts much more than it helps. It interrupts thinking, wastes time, and shortens life. Anxiety, unlike real fear, is always caused by uncertainty. It is caused, ultimately, by predictions in which you have little confidence. Predictions in which you have high confidence frees you to respond, adjust, feel sadness, accept, prepare, or to do whatever is needed. Anxiety is reduced by improving your predictions. Few of us predict that unexpected, undesired events will lead to great things, but very often we'd be more accurate if we did. The history of invention is filled with perceived failures that became unpredicted successes. Thanks for watching.